Russia is losing influence in its near abroad. Allies agree that Ukraine will become a member of NATO. Ukraine is closer to NATO than ever before. We will continue to support them on the path to membership, and will continue to support Ukraine's fight for freedom. Politically, Russia is losing influence in its near abroad, not only in Ukraine, but in Caucasus and Central Asia. Russia is also becoming much more dependent on China. Year by year, Moscow is mortgaging its future to Beijing. Militarily, Russia has lost a substantial part of its conventional forces. Hundreds of aircraft, thousands of tanks, and more than 300,000 casualties. Economically, Russia is also under pressure. Oil and gas revenues are dropping. Russian banking assets are under sanctions. Over 1,000 foreign companies have stopped or scaled down their operations in the country, and 1.3 million people left Russia last year. All of this underlines Putin's strategic mistake in invading Ukraine. At the same time, we must not underestimate Russia. Russia's economy is on a war footing. Putin has a high tolerance for casualties, and Russian aims in Ukraine have not changed. Russia has amassed a large missile stockpile ahead of winter, and we see new attempts to strike Ukraine's power grid and energy infrastructure, trying to leave Ukraine in the dark and cold. I welcome that allies are continuing to strengthen Ukraine's air defenses. Last week, 20 NATO allies agreed to form an air defense coalition for Ukraine. This will help protect Ukraine's armed forces and cities, and save Ukrainian lives. We are now transforming NATO's comprehensive assistance package into a multi-year program of assistance, helping Ukraine to transition from Soviet era to NATO equipment and standards, and make their forces fully interoperable with ours. We also discussed Ukraine's path to NATO membership. Allies agree that Ukraine will become a member of NATO. We have now provided recommendations on Ukraine's priority reforms, including the fight against corruption, strengthening the rule of law, and supporting human rights and minority rights. Ukraine is closer to NATO than ever before. We will continue to support them on the path to membership, and will continue to support Ukraine's fight for freedom. Of course, F-16s will make a difference. They will strengthen Ukraine's capacity to inflict losses on the Russian invading forces, and F-16s will also help to further strengthen Ukraine's air defenses. At the same time, I think we need to now realize that there is not a silver bullet, not a single system that by itself will change fundamentally the situation on the battlefield. This is a question of many different capabilities working together at the same time that will push the Russians back. We have to be prepared for a long and hard fight. I welcome, of course, the delivery of modern battle tanks, HIMARS, cruise missiles, and advanced air defense systems, and also the delivery of F-16s. But again, there is no silver bullet, there is no single system that fundamentally would change the situation on the battlefield by itself.